Hi, Jeanette. How you doing?
Sorry.
How are you, Jeanette?
Good, good, good.
All right. Thanks for introducing me here. Indeed, I've started my career from Atlanta in different with different consulting companies. You cited right, so IBM, Cognizant, Capgemini. Those were the main consulting that I've worked, and Hitachi Consulting as well. Those are the main folks that I work with. And then through these consulting companies, we've accompanied a lot of clients to help them with their digitalization using different ERP systems like SAP and Microsoft Dynamics and so on and so forth. So that is correct. Thanks for the introduction.
Okay. So we're gonna ask also who's here as a guest before we start with the questions. And if everybody speak English or if there is anybody who doesn't speak English, let us know. So we need to start in French. We have Noel, and I'm familiar with everybody else other than Noel.
Noel is a member from the Atlanta community,
Oh,
also
okay.
in IT, by the
Okay,
way.
good, good, good. I wasn't sure. Okay, so
Yeah,
so
yeah,
everybody here
Yes,
can,
hello. Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, that's
yes.
good. I just wanted to make sure everybody can understand if we go with English.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I live here in Atlanta. So,
Okay,
yeah, I'm okay with English. Yes.
okay, great. So we're gonna start with our first question. It's gonna be more of a Q&A and just
Absolutely.
more of so we're gonna start with some question, but you feel free to talk about a subject that works better for you. So one of my questions for you, Guy, is you have worked with major global companies like IBM, Cognizant, Capgemini, and Coca-Cola.
Gemini. Yeah.
Yeah. What
Mm.
lesson from large corporation can small business apply today?
Thanks again for the question. So for me, it's a personal understanding and personal growth when I'm working with these big companies, and there are so many intricacies that the big companies have, like the clients that we work for, they they can have different departments to take care of a process. So if we take a sales process, you have a marketing team, a marketing department, you have whoever makes the procurement, so and so. So you have different departments for each process when you talk about the big companies. For small companies, you don't have the luxury of having these different departments. So what we apply, at least my knowledge is, hey, in PME, small companies, you need to have all the different processes in place. Now you're gonna be the one doing all these different processes as opposed to the big companies. But at least you have to map your process from the beginning all the way to the end. So those are the some of the things that working with these different, big clients that I've worked with that I think I can apply. Now, when it comes to digitalizing things, if I use my experience since I was in the ERP business. The ERP is enterprise resource planning. Those are the software that you use for your company to be able to work, right? So everything that you do goes into that ERP system. So we have SAP, we have Dynamics, we have Oracle Fusion, and then you have smaller companies like NetSuite, Salesforce, which has become pretty big as well. So my when I did the transition working with smaller companies, which is what I do now, since I didn't mention it earlier, but I've from Atlanta, I moved to Jersey, and now I'm in Abidjan, and then I'm working with different clients. So in Abidjan, I'm working with the small companies, and my role is, hey, you you have your company, but how do you keep all your data? How you keep all your processes, right? So I help them doing strategizing with different ERPs and telling them, hey, based on your processes, this is the ERP that I think will work for you, and here are the processes that your company will need in order to be a successful company. So that's what I can say that I use as experience to show on those smaller companies.
Okay, I see. So what some of your challenges you have working in the Abidjan market?
Yeah, the challenges is resources, human resources, meaning we don't have enough knowledgeable people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first challenge. Either number of people we don't have. If we have the number of people, they don't know the tools that we're using. All right. So one of the things that at least when I speak with these different companies, or even with the larger companies based in Abidjan, I want them to focus on the education side. I've spoken with different companies for me to be a bridge from these companies to some of the schools that we have here, because those companies would tell you, oh well, we probably will hire um, people from India or from different other places because they have the understanding of the tools that we are using for the digitalization. But my thing is, we don't lack people, we lack knowledge because the students that we have aren't knowledgeable. Nobody's teaching them these tools, right? So one of my things is that, hey, we need to teach these kids, how to use these tools so that we can hire them for these companies. So that's been a real problem, but I think a lot more people like me also see this issue and they want to bring this education side, so that we can have more, a bigger pool of people with knowledge and technical knowledge in using these different tools that I mentioned.
Okay, thank you for sharing. I'm gonna ask you a second question, and I'm also gonna start asking a question to our second guest. I'm a second speaker for the event as well. Um, for small business that wants to improve operation, what should they start? Website, social media, customer management, automate automation, or internal system?
So it's a good question, and I think it's a combination of things.
Mhm.
Being in IT in the digital world, what I've noticed is that most companies, at least when they're new, um, they don't think about the IT side of how the company should behave. That's why I come in,
Mm,
and I bring the advice about, hey, you need to budgetize for the IT side of what we're doing because it's very important. Because what I've noticed here, especially in Abidjan, a lot of new companies use this software called Sage. Sage is also an enterprise resource planning tool, but they are using it not because they are knowledgeable about it. It's only because their friends are using it.
mhm,
And I've noticed when I speak with people, some of them think that Sage is just an accounting software, which is not. It's an ERP system, but they don't know that because nobody is knowledgeable within, their ecosystem, right? So
mhm,
I try to break this barrier and tell them, hey guys, for all your different processes, you need, this tool. For these other processes, you need that tool, and you need a BI system maybe on top of it to regulate everything that you do and to see your KPIs and so on and so forth. So for me, the advice that I give him is do not overlook your IT side because it is just as important as what your company is trying to do. Most people, they create a company to try to solve an issue, right? Or bring a service to the population. But when you do so, if you fail on the IT side, it's a lot of things that you're gonna that's gonna be very redundant, right? And the IT side is supposed to be helping you being more efficient, the automation side, and so on and so forth. But you need people that's knowledgeable in order for them to, put the process together. So that's what I would say.
Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
So we're gonna move and we're gonna come back towards the ends and ask the guests to if they have any question to ask. We're gonna have all three speakers speak first, and towards the end we'll open the mic to everyone if you have any question to ask as well. So our next speakers are Ghislain et Christelle, and Christelle. So Christelle and Amogo. Let me know if I'm saying it right. I don't want to mess up. Christelle Amogo and Ghislain Kwame are the founders of 360 CA Consulting LLC, bringing over 20 years of international experience in IT, digital transformation, AI, and enterprise architecture, with backgrounds spanning North America, Europe, and West Africa. They had led projects for Fortune 500 companies and global organizations across finance, retail, manufacturing, and infrastructure. Their expertise include SAP, AI solution, cloud technology, and business transformation, helping organizations and small business innovate and thrive in the digital economy. So let me turn the mic to you. Are you connected?
Yes, we are. I'm going to let Ghislain introduce himself. Thank you so much, Jeanette. And thanks, Guillaume, for sharing your experience as well.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for the delay. I was
No problem. Yes, I'll let you start. I
I think he dropped.
Do you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's back. Good.
Yeah, the connection in this office, it's a little bit weird. So sorry for the delay. I was saying I'm here. I might have to leave again, but for now I'm with you. So the little introduction on my part, over 20, 25 years now, I'm in the IT field, based on the system admin, networking, AI, a little software development. Little software development, when I say this, it's because lately came out with a little ERP, not big as SAP or Sage, but it's an ERP in testing right now. So it was my baby and my partner. We put out the ERP. We plan to commercialize it soon. It's still in the last phase of testing. This is the introduction, a little bit of me, and the last 3 years, I was introduced to the ERP world in SAP P2P. So it's another suitcase in my world to add to the networking and the system admin and the VMware part. So I'm gonna let Christelle answer the question, and I will add if there's something to add to it.
Okay, thank you. So Christelle, so when you say those acronyms, for someone who's not familiar, so that doesn't know anything about the IT word, what those words really means, if you could break it down in a little, because I have no clue what he talked about.
And it's always good to have an audience that's, diverse. It really brings a lot more interesting facts. So, like Ghislain said, we've actually been working and developing our own product. It's in the lab right now, but we really, the main goal for us is to make sure that not only large Fortune 500 companies have access to an integrated system. We just want to make sure that the small shop, or the company that's starting also has the same opportunities. Nowadays, that's what digitalization is about. It's not about having everything with the big servers, et cetera, et cetera. It's really making it available so that the small business owner, the founder, can actually focus on strategy, on growing the market, and let the team work with more efficient tools, and it doesn't have to be physically there. So if I was to translate everything you said just now, that's what it is. It's really building an integrated system that allow different modules to communicate. So your finance knows what's happening with the procurement. The procurement knows what's happening with inventory. Inventory knows what's happening with the production. The production knows what's happening with what I say that the different furniture suppliers, right? And a lot of time, from end to end, you have companies using a large amount of systems that don't communicate with each other, so you have a lot of redundancy. So when we say integrated, that's what we mean. We really mean system talking to each other. And I think Dee really did a good, he made a point with automation. Automation is the key thing. Automation is not to replace human being. Automation is to make your life a lot easier and a lot more efficient, so you can focus on the things that really matters, right? So when we talk about SAP, SAP is actually a German product that came along in the 70s, I believe, and keep me honest here. And basically, the translation of it is system application process and management. So that gives like a core system to companies to be able to have everything in the same system, and being able to pull their reports when they need to, so they know at any point of time, what's happening with sales, what's happening with marketing, what's happening with procurement, how many invoices are there and needs to be paid. Usually that's what they need to know, and how long before they can really see the money and the cash, and basically the bottom line. That affects the bottom line. So I think also one thing that Gisela mentioned, he mentioned P2P, is procure to pay. A lot of time that's really sitting in the procurement and the payment area. In SAP, with it's sometimes FICO, they put it under FICO, sometimes they put it under other modules. But in reality, is a little bit of finance and a little bit of accounting. Those two things are different, but they need to be in sync, right? So I don't know what other terminology you wanted me to break
Oh, no,
down, but
no, that's helpful.
okay, very good.
To say those, yeah, because other than doing, I'm in the hair industry. I do have a salon, and we do. I hear what you're saying. So sometimes, I do have a POS system that's just designed for salon operation, and how we enter client into the system, how we check them out, and we also have inventory into the system as well, and it store the client information, the payment, and all that information. But the marketing is in it if we connect certain things, so we could see how is it actually whatever marketing we did, which client actually came from those marketing things. Not everything is into the system, but some of it. But I
Right, because you want to follow up on your leads, and you want to turn it into an actual account, right? So
Yeah.
we're going from prospect to actual client, and then you want to keep that client, and you want to make sure that the line of communication and the after, comment dire, après le service après-vente.
Yeah.
Yeah, service après-vente.
Voilà. So you want
After
to
sale.
so you want to make sure that they're still satisfied with the product and the service that you're providing. And a lot of time, even as a small business, we think, okay, I got my client and I'm good to go. You don't think about the sales in 2 years. If you can actually keep that clientele and keep growing, that's how your business becomes something else. And it does need the base. It needs to have a core system. And what really helps you, that's where IT comes into play. I think you mentioned that as well, and Gisela. So we're going away from the Excel and this application and have a more interactive type of product that really brings you leads and translate them into sales in the future as well.
That's good. So what type of clientele would be ideal for what you're doing?
So, and I think Gisna mentioned that one of the things we're trying to do is provide the same ERP quality and ability to small and medium companies, because the SAP system in general, even if you decide to go for Oracle or NetSuite or whatever, licensing and different implementation, we're talking $1 million. Okay. And a lot of time, small businesses, they're not necessarily ready for that. One day they might be, right? But on day one, you don't need it. Even on day probably 200, you might not necessarily be able to afford that. So we want to make that type of service and capabilities available to small businesses as well. And I know SAP has a solution for it, SAP One, whatever. It's still expensive, right? And also with the market today, we want to kind of go away from the licensing type of charging and make it where it's based on usage and it's easy for the business to acquire and is on the need, based on their needs, not that they're going to lock themselves in a 5 years product that's going to cost them, more than what they're making already. So we're trying to make it available for small businesses. We're looking into the African market. Why? Because by experience, we know the market is almost saturated here, and sometimes there's so much noise and distractions, and you can see everything online. But for our market, we feel like there's still room to bring more efficiency. There's still room to save time and save resources and help companies really grow and be competitive on the market, on the international market. It's not because you're based in Yaoundé that you can only sell in Yaoundé in that little quarter. You should be able to present your products around the world and be able to ship it if you need to. But you need some type of infrastructure around it. You need some type of process around it. And you have to be able to come back and kind of detail your processes and your systems so that you don't have redundancy. So I know sometimes I get into a lot of details, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Is it live actually to share? So to share the
We're
or you
talking
have to
about the
build?
ERP.
Yeah.
The ERP is ready, and we want to finalize the testing. So we ask 2 different companies to test it first, and with the result, we'll be able to present to a larger group of
Yes.
people or put it on the market. But we wanted to see a real data and real testing live. So yeah, but it's ready.
Yeah, we would like to proceed with a pilot, and we're probably gonna have a small group of people to just try and help us finalize, fine tune it, especially for the African market. And probably Guy, we're gonna reach out, because we think a lot of time we build things and it might be too generic or it might be appropriate for the market here in Atlanta or here in the US, but you don't necessarily have the same tools or the same type of connection, etc. So we want to take all that into consideration before we actually deploy it. But definitely we think it will be accessible for any shop. I mean, literally, if you have a cell phone and you have a computer, you should be able to use it. You should have a system that matches your need. You shouldn't have to pay that much if you don't have the market yet. So yes, we're very excited about that.
Thank you. And like I said, I will come back again after our last speaker to open the mic to everyone. But thank you for sharing. Very
Thank you.
helpful. So our last speaker is, give me 1 second. Our last speaker is Kwame. Kwame has spent over a decade building, securing, and scaling digital platform, a certified ethical hacker and system administrations professional. He has managed critical infrastructure for local government and held key technical roles at A2 Hosting and TurnUp Hosting. Kwame brings a unique mix of deep cybersecurity knowledge, hands-on web and app development, and proven SEO strategy to the table. Whether he is locking down network security or designing digital marketing campaign, he focuses on helping organizations protect their data while growing their online presence. So Kwame, are you
Thank you, Jeanette.
hi, how you
Yeah,
doing today?
good. How y'all doing? Good
Good.
to see y'all and hear from your experiences. I'm Kwame. I have over a decade experience, like Gigi already mentioned, cybersecurity, web and app development, digital marketing, including SEO, system administration, and also like working with local governments and stuff. Um, Over the years, I've worked and consulted for multiple companies. Some I can't mention due to like NDAs, but corporate law firms, investment banking, one of the like top three headquartered in New York, and it's around the world. Yeah. So, um, yeah, that's my background, sir.
Okay, great.
I
So
do, sorry. Yeah, go
you
ahead, Gigi. Yeah, currently like I do operate like web hosting as well as like do consulting for local governments in the US.
okay. What's some of your challenges um, that you have?
So I mean, depending on like the client, the challenge is different, you know. Like for local governments and stuff, most of their they trying to so like a law was passed during like 2 years ago by the Joe Biden's DOJ trying to that required like most local governments to have their website in compliance with ADA laws uh, by April of this year. So a lot of like local governments were trying to like rush because some of them have like outdated websites, old systems, huge volume of documents and files and stuff that they had to like bring or get close to compliance before the deadline. So we had a few like challenges, but we were able to like get them over the finish line before the deadline with those. Those was like the main like challenges.
Okay, I see. So you have experience in cybersecurity, web and app development, and SEO. What should small business know about protecting the data online?
Yeah, so data in this age is very critical and very vital to every organization, be it small, medium, or large. Without securing your data, you have like you lose trust of your customers or your clients. Um, the reputation of your business also goes down in the gutters, and also you give like bad actors um ways to exploit and also like have access to like critical sensitive information, including like your banking data or access to bank accounts and stuff like that, which is very bad. So securing your data should be like a part of like the foundation of every business organization, small, big, or medium. It's better to like get it incorporated like in the beginning stages so you don't have to spend more like doing reputation and damage control later, because trust me, it costs more to like repair your reputation once it's compromised. So yes. Businesses could like, there are several ways businesses could like protect their data online. Starting if like the business has like a website and stuff, they could use like a secure socket layer certificate. We call it SSL. Using like the latest TLS version, like the v1.3, which provides like strong encryption for between the like the client, the front end of the website and the web server. Businesses should use like strong passwords and also always like have like multiple factors of authentication for admin logins and stuff, to deter like privilege escalation and easy access to like sensitive areas.
Okay. So when creating a website, how, if the person, or if we have a website, how do we know how, or do we have to ask our web designer what type of security they put in place, and how do we know it's secure? By asking them, but what exactly, you mentioned about SPLS, that's what it is, right?
Yeah, SSL certificate. So like yes, SSL certificate. It's like the TLS is like it's a form of encryption. The most like current recommended version to be used for website at this point is like the v1.3. So yes, so there are like several ways you could see if your website is secure. The most basic and easiest way to see or check, like now most of the modern browsers have like you see like a green padlock, or like you see like a padlock on the left side of the URL that shows like connection is secure. Like if it's not, like if the connection to the website is not secure, you see like an I or like a padlock with a slash in it, which when you click on it, it will tell you like any like information submitted could be like intercepted and stuff like that. So like that's the most basic way to see on the front end. As far as the back end goes, like you have to have like some base security knowledge. You have to make sure the developer like implemented strict header security protocols to avoid like common like attacks like SQL or injections. Like also like you could also make sure at least you have like some kind of malware scanner that's more advanced in the back end integrated. You should have at least one web application firewall in the back end as well to help deter attacks like on the base level, at least from the front end of the website.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. So
No.
many small business have a website but don't get enough traffic. What are some basic SEO strategies they can use?
So the first thing I recommend is like to have a Google Business Profile because it's free. Bing also has like a webmaster tools or something where you could create like a similar profile like Google Business profile. You could describe the nature of your business, put up photos, the times of opening of the business. You could get like client reviews. You could also add links to your website. For your website, the contact like information, and also like you could put like little post on there. You also have to like at least like list your site in certain local high authority directories like Yelp, like Yellow Pages, Brown Books, and whichever like local directories are like targeted in your country or like your geographical zone. You make sure like your website is you have profiles there that links back to your website as well. You could also like go to like local blogs and then write articles that pertains to your business and then link back to your website. These are like free, easy SEO tips you could do to help boost traffic or generate traffic to your website. And with irrespective of like the nature of your website, you have to have at least a blog section where you always like posting stuff or like updating information, sharing knowledge about that pertains to your business, because it will help Google, like the Google search bots be able to like crawl those data and then link back the clients to your website when they're looking for stuff that's contained in some of your posts. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So now we're gonna allow.
I think there's a question from Mr. Gislain.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Guy. I wanted to make a little note here, because when Kwame was talking, you asked him a very interesting question. And Kwame, you went really high level, but for basic understanding for everybody, I think to see, for example, if your website is secure, why I say you want high detail, you can have some site like mtoolbox.com. That website will test from A to Z your website and give you all the security breach, the critical errors, and everything. You can really, for someone who started a business or doesn't have any background in IT, that website can help them really, really well. And it include everything you said, but at a lower level. So it's very simple for everybody to understand, because you want really high detail. We all have a IT background, so we understood, but for someone who doesn't work in that world, it's like Chinese, you just spoke. But you said the right thing, but it's just really high level. I wanted you to really specify that with simple things, so everybody can really understand and use and benefit of that knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I do agree. There are like some pen testing or like sites that have like that provides such information as well. Thanks for breaking it down.
Thank you. So now we love to hear from our guests. If anybody has any question or comment, now is the time.
What should we do? Raise the hand like Mr. Gislain did, or
No, they don't have to raise their hand.
you can just
And
talk?
it could be any question, it doesn't have to be specific to.
No problem. So I guess I'm taking over. No, I was gonna say, I think from Gislain's perspective, he's right. We need to know that the audience here is the small business or even the one-person business who's hesitating to open up his business and his services to people, right? That's one. And then the other one would be the would-be client of whatever we're offering here, right? So if I am a small shop and I'm listening to, all these IT stuff, and, I sell wigs or something, and I want to know, I want to create a website. What do I need to, care for? I hear people talking about enterprise resource planning. I hear people talking about cybersecurity. Should I care about all these things, right? I think that's more of the audience that we're entertaining here. And by the way, and I think from the beginning, maybe you've seen it. This is recorded, and it would be posted in the Ivorian Chamber of Commerce of Georgia, ICCGA. And we intend to have more talk, maybe once every month or once every other month, in order to help whoever, those two types of pools that I just described. So that's just what I wanted to mention. By the way, I am the vice president of the ICCGA. Nadej is the president. And so we are doing this because we want to, help some of our brothers and sisters, and at the same time, show our knowledge to this audience. So wanted to just share that. But I have a couple of questions to everybody here. Now that I've laid out who the audience is, I think from Ghislaine, Christelle, it was pretty straightforward. It's like, hey, we have a baby here. It's coming soon. And, we're gonna put it out to the world. But what I want to ask you guys first, and then the other Kwame too, is like, what came to mind, for you guys to come up with this baby, right? Like, what was the thought process that happened, and you guys wanted to come out with this? And to Mr. Kwame, you've mentioned things about the DOJ, things that need to be respected within a certain delay. Can this be applied, the thought process of these different parameters that you've spoken about? Can we apply that to the African continent? Those are the two questions that I wanted to ask. So there you go.
Okay, so first, Kwame, when my partner and I, we put that baby in motion, it was to really respond to a need to the PME in Ivory Coast. Because like she said, the need is there. The money is not necessarily there at the beginning, but with the expertise that we have, we were able to bring, let's say, the SAP of Sage to a level of a small business for them to have the same quality, but paying 6 times less. So make it affordable and give them the opportunity to really work with efficiency. And it's our country, we from Africa, we want to put our salt there. It's to help really everybody else think about everybody else. We start and we have to think about our people, ourselves. For example, our baby can work with Ginette Salon. You can be a tester. You test it and come back to us with your feedback, what you want to change or what you don't understand, things like this. And it's like mouth to mouth. And this is how we want to solve one problem at a time or one client at a time. but it's really for us. It's for the African market.
Thanks. I just want to add a little bit more spice, un peu de piment. So did you when you came, because currently I'm in Abidjan, right? So did you experience, that like you went to some places and you realized that, hey, they lack these ERPs? Because I'm asking this because I'm also into to the same space, right? And
Yeah.
I spent 2018 in Abidjan for 1 year, try to sell SAP stuff, right? I even, spoke with SAP Morocco. I mean, I've got into a lot of different things, and then I spoke also with Microsoft Dynamics, which has a team in Abidjan of 10 people or so. And Oracle Fusion also has a team of folks. So my thing is, for me, my experience was that everybody I spoke with, and I asked them, I said, oh, by the way, what type of ERP your company is using, and then they have no idea. And then eventually they say, oh, Sage, but it's an accounting, software. That's what they think it is. And so I was like, yeah, definitely. I think we need to educate people on this. So I'm 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 kind of like a mercenary when it comes to IT, because I've worked as a consultant for over 15, 16 years now. So I don't have any loyalty to tools. I'm being straight honest here. I don't have any loyalty to tools and companies. I just try to solve whatever issues that I see. And then I present people with like, hey, I even spoke with Odoo. I'm pretty sure you guys, know.
Yeah.
They've called me. They want to partner up, but then they have some other stuff. They want me to pay to be their partners. I say that's not going to happen.
It doesn't
Sounds
make
like a
sense.
Ponzi scheme. Sounds like a Ponzi scheme to me. You pay to partner with them. I say, no, you guys pay me and then we partners, right? But
Exactly.
anyways, so that's my little bit of experience. So that's why I want to kind of like ask you if that happened to you as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to jump in a little bit just because I think offline earlier I mentioned that we went for SAP conference in Abidjan. That was, first of all, I was really excited to see that SAP reach Africa, okay, like our market. And being overseas for so long, sometimes you don't know where to start. You want to you want to give back to the community, but you don't know how. And a lot of time we're thinking, okay, I can teach, I can copy and paste, right? The copy and paste format doesn't necessarily work, but we can learn from our experience. And to your point, we're not loyal to a specific brand because we are independent. We are independent as a company. No one is financing us. There's no lobbying. It's really us to the market, right? And we see sometimes we work with we've been in different countries, and it's funny because you see India doing this, you see Philippines doing this, you see all these places developing products and working in partnership with those large companies, but you can also see them grow. When it comes to us, it's like we're getting lost somewhere. I don't understand. Sometimes we're not able to necessarily connect the dots. And I want to say to the younger generation, the young people, we're here to innovate as well. We can bring innovation to our people. And it's not just internet and posting some nice pictures, etc., etc. It's everything that we've learned how to apply it to the business. So to answer your question earlier, what was the thought process? The thought process was, okay, we've learned all this. Like you, we've been consulting for so long. We've worked with many large companies, and if those companies can trust us with the finances, right? We're talking $1 million here. If they can trust us with their processes, how is it that we cannot bring it back to our community? And for me, it's really helping our own market grow as well, bring visibility to the rest of the world. A lot of time people talk about different places, and sometimes they won't even mention our continent. And it's for us to bring that. We shouldn't expect other people to and put the emphasis on our community. Our community need to put the emphasis on our community. So we have a lot of experts. We have a lot of people with a lot of diplomas, but how do you bring it to the common business? How do you bring it to everyone so everybody can benefit from it? And really, we're not being paid for that right now, but we're doing it because we want to bring something back. So yeah, that's the thought process behind.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to add something to it too. But yeah, I think for me, well, I like to learn. So that's one thing. I think some companies, if I guess the issue, some people have some bias with certain group of people without even getting to know the person, and having bias sometimes with your own people can be the issue too. In that, and it's about continue to educating people. And thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for joining and educating people, because when you mentioned also about Sage, because me trying to connect the dots with my business, with my you know, understanding inventory, understanding the finance, and also merging with the marketing things, and start talking to a lot of different IT. And I was like, oh, can you bring this into my business where all this work together too? So that's something that I'm very interested in. Because I look at Sage in it, I thought also, I saw this company Sage in Georgia, and I'm like, they have a lot of data. And I thought about using the banking system so I could have the data on my client, because they only track all the clients and all that. So I was like, that would be great to have that company, that the credit card company, because they keep track of the clientele. But now that I'm realizing, then you're right, it's not just a accounting business, they do all that. So yes, so I was right in my thought process. But yes, I'm looking for something like that for small business.
There you go.
Think that
I'm sorry. I just want to say thank you. I have an emergency. I have to leave, but I'll try to come back. I'll try
No, we're
to
about to end
finish
in the
quickly.
next 5 minutes.
Okay. So,
We-
Guy, I hope we'll stay in touch. Kwame also as
Absolutely.
well. But
Absolutely.
thank you so much for
Yeah,
inviting
absolutely.
us,
Thank you.
Thanks for
and
joining.
really,
Yeah, thanks for joining.
it was really, really, really informative for me, and I'm glad. Thank you very much.
We'll talk. We'll talk. No
Bye,
problem.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so
See,
much. Yeah.
see, I think out of all of us, Christelle and Gisela, this is backup, right? Live backup. It's like, oh, I can go have a backup here, right? So that's good. Anyway, Mr. Kwame, I think the second question was for you. I'll just repeat it just in case. You mentioned earlier that there's some compliances that needed to be done for websites that pertains to the DOJ departments, but applied to the local folks that you have as clients or that you're working for. So my question was, are these compliances, do they make sense if we apply some type of the same compliances in Africa, and how could we do that?
Yes, they do actually make sense because, there are people born with challenges, and there are some that get challenges along the way, health, their eyes may be deteriorating. Getting bad and stuff. Their hearing, all sort of stuff. Things happen in life. So these accessibility guidelines are like tools for websites are meant to help make their websites more accessible and have like a wider reach for even people with challenges. So they could also have the same access to, the information, the data, and the help they need. So yes, I think it is a good thing if it could, be implemented in the continent, but I know it's going to take some time to, for us to get over the to get to that point. But yes, I think yeah, I know like there's a lot of laws that has, a lot of garbage in them, but this is like one of the more useful that laws that's for the for the people to help make things easier for everyone. Yeah.
That's good. I think I want to follow up with this. So those are laws, US laws applied so that you guys have to do it, or is it the other way around? Maybe guidelines that eventually become laws. Which way is it?
So it's laws for like all government agencies. So like state, federal, local, like cities, counties.
Mhm.
Yes, for them it's like law. You have to follow. You could get sued by the Department of Justice. But
Mhm.
for the businesses and stuff, these are like guidelines for you to for them to also follow as well, to bring them along. It's not yet like mandatory for
Mhm.
businesses, but businesses are encouraged to,
You do
make their
that.
websites applications more accessible. But for government, yes, because you're providing like a critical service to the people, and you have like various people with different challenges. So you have to make it where everyone, irrespective of their challenge, is able to access the same information. So yes, for them it is actually mandatory.
Okay, good. I'll give you an idea, maybe, or a thought process. Is it
Yeah, sure.
something that can be packaged and presented to, our African sisters and brothers?
Yes. I mean, I've built some, accessibility tools and stuff that helps with, to help websites that are uh, not even compliant be able to like automatically remediate most of the issues. And there are some that you have to like manually do at the source code level. So yes, I think this will be useful because, we have like people with eye problems. Some of them don't go get treatment or get their eyes checked, or maybe
Yeah.
hearing problems. They don't have the money to get these kind of care. So if you have some of these tools on the website and stuff, they could easily like utilize it to help ease the burden on their eyes or the burden of their hearing, to be able to still get access to the service they came looking for.
Yeah.
So yes.
I'll definitely encourage you to, come out with, if time allows you to, or maybe you and your friends can come up with a package like this, or, some other time, uh, we can present that, because I think this is very important. So one of the things I didn't mention it when the meeting started, but I've
Yeah.
moved back to Cote d'Ivoire. So I've lived in Atlanta for 20 years, in New York and Jersey for another 6 years, 7 years, and since January, um, since January, I'm based here in Abidjan, but I go to Accra. I go to I went to Lomé. I
Travel
went to
around.
Guinea-Conakry, Guinea-Bissau. Um, I I pretty much I represent different companies, depends on the needs, right? And
Yeah.
I think what you express is also a need. It may not be seen, currently in Africa, because we kind of overlook, handicap people. But I
Yeah.
still think it's important, because one of the things that I want to present wherever I go is those kind of tools that can help people
Tools.
in need, because able bodies and able, anybody can do everything, right? But non-able bodies, I think we need to be able to help them. And, those are the things that we can present to, so last week I was invited to go to Vivatech in Paris to show all
Yeah.
the innovations and stuff. and I was part of the delegation from Cote d'Ivoire from two different ministries, the digitalization ministry and then the youth ministry. So, I want us to be able to present these kind of solutions also, right? Like, hey guys,
Yeah.
here's what we have. This is for, non-able bodies. It would help them to be able so that these people also can develop their own, products, right?
Yeah.
Using
Yeah.
these tools.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
That's a really good idea to,
there you go.
help bring the same resources to the continent. So yes,
Absolutely.
be very
Absolutely.
helpful.
Yeah, please do that. And then, Christelle, to you guys too, when your baby is out, I'm always partnering up with people. When I went to Vivatech, I was partnered with a company called Digital Africa Telecom. They offer mobile solutions
Mhm.
like payment solutions for B2B, but also from B to public, B2P, public government, B2G, and also hospitals and things like so. I'm my services are open. Let's put it this
Gonna be
way.
a bridge. You're gonna be a bridge. I'm very excited.
There,
Yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go. There you go. That's
yeah.
that's pretty much what I'm doing here. I'm going to Poland in 3 or 4 days. I'm meeting some IT folks there, but this is more on the cybersecurity side.
Mhm.
Um, but pretty much, that's kind of what I'm doing since I've been here. So, you know, I'm open to always connect with people, present whatever it is that you guys are doing, whether for free, whether for a fee. That's something we can always discuss. But I'm always encouraging people to think about what they can bring to our continent and how can we help other people becoming entrepreneurs like some of you guys or our
Yeah.
clients, why not?
And also, I think earlier you mentioned something about education. I think making the knowledge accessible to the youngest one, because we're not going to be here forever, right? We're going to be
Mhm.
retired 10, 15 years, 20 years. Someone needs to carry on with the work. So we don't want to break between. And I think that our generation is, when I say our generation, I'm guessing we all ex-gen here almost, almost.
Maybe a
But
couple of gray
right,
hair here, but
you
yeah.
don't say, you don't say. But in reality, I do think that in my case, starting where I started, I had no idea where I was going to be 20 or 30 years from where I was. And I was one of those students, people could never put me in a box. Like I wasn't, a A student, like, oh, I'm doing letters. On dit, je suis en lettres, ou je suis en chimie, ou je suis. No, I was never one of those. People didn't know where to put me. Okay. And until IT came in, that's how I find myself. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there are some other kids, maybe in high school, even starting college, they have no idea, just going through the motion because the parents say, you need to study law, you need to do this. And they have no idea how many opportunities are out there because it does change someone's life, especially if you're able to bring it back. It does just give the community another layer. And it gives us tools to be efficient. So I really think that education wise, I know you mentioned off record that you were doing classes before. I do think we can put an emphasis on that. And I'm probably going to connect with you because I create some modules for students who are just curious about, okay, what's even SAP? What can I do in IT? And I want the next generation to dare, right? Because it's not going to be one of those things where someone gives you a full roadmap, but if we can help you kind of just discover another side of, this world, why not? So to me, it's very dear to me because I wish I knew what I know now when I was in high school.
Back then.
Yeah, because sometimes not that you waste 10 years, but you're trying different things and you're going up and down, you're trying this, doesn't work out, you drop out and you come back. And if we can save people time and really help them find themselves ASAP, that to me is dear. And that's also one of the outlets I'm looking at from an education standpoint. What can we make available for the young generation to be able to learn, but learn the basics, and they can decide, oh, you know what, I'm not interested. But
Absolutely.
with not everybody has a PhD in I don't know what, right? Like
Yeah.
there are so many ways to succeed, and I just want to open the door for those who don't necessarily know that or are aware of it, because
Absolutely.
someone did that for me. Even though they did that a little bit later in life, I want to do that for someone young, a little bit earlier, so they don't
Yeah.
comment on dit, galère pas pendant 10 ans à
Yeah.
essayer de trouver, à
Wait.
essayer
Yeah.
de essayer
Yeah.
cela. Ça.
No, absolutely. This is great. Jeanette, I know we over that 1 hour. I'm just gonna be brief. So, Kisel, everything you said is 100% correct. When I went to Vivatech, I met two persons that I think would definitely fall into what you're just talking about. I like what my knowledge, whatever I have and whatever I created as classes, I'm gonna actually talk to these people as well. So one person, she created her own like educational things in IT. She even has Google. She used to work for Google actually, but she has the Google backup to help her with things. And then the second person, it's a non-profit organization, but she's mandated by the youth ministry to help the youth through IT education. So those two people will definitely, we'll figure it out how we can, provide our knowledge to these people and see how we can work with them and do that. I try to do it by myself, which is, it's fine. You could do a couple of classes here and there, but using an established, environment, it's even better, I think so. So we can
Yeah.
work with them and offline we'll continue these discussions. So yeah.
Absolutely. That gets me excited, and just I just want to say thank you, because a lot of time you don't know where to go. And Jeanette, thank you so much, because when we met you, it was really by coincidence, right? I don't want to say with the wrong chamber of commerce, but definitely not this one. So I'm very excited, because really that's what we want to do. We want to give a chance to other people. We don't want the work to stop with us. We want to carry on. So thank you for that. Oh, Mr. Kwame, finally.
Yeah, right. I just saw the message. Sorry.
It's all good. Jeanette, I'll
Yeah.
leave you with the last, whatever you need to do. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Your question was helpful too. So I wanted to open the mic again to anyone, any guest wanted to have any question before we close.
Are we going to have a place where we can actually check each other's contact and we can continue communicating? I think this is a good start.
Yeah, definitely in the
Okay,
chat as well.
Mhm.
You can leave your contact, and whoever wanted to leave the contact, you could share in the chat. But when we finish, I also send out a newsletter to
Okay.
all the guests as well. And we share it on our social media platform,
Okay.
our LinkedIn as well. And you could also leave you could send me your contact as well, and I will share it in a newsletter as well.
Okay.
No problem. And I think we have a couple of WhatsApp groups, right, Jeanette? So we can
Yes.
definitely, yeah, use those.
Yes.
Since these people are shy, let me just call them by names. Noel, you know.
I love it.
Hey, okay.
There you go.
I was told when you join the group the first time, try to be quiet and listen as much as possible. So that is my first time here, and I think it was a great meeting. I very much enjoy everything that everybody said, especially Guillaume, your experience in Ivory Coast, and we all try to do the same thing to jump and continue what we have left in Ivory Coast. So that was very informative, and thank you for that. Thank you also to Kwame, both Kwames, because at some point I was confused who is talking, which Kwame is talking, but yeah, thank you to everybody.
Hey, everybody's named either Kwame or Kofi in West Africa, right? So
Yeah, that's right. We brothers.
Oh man, good. Thanks, Noel. Mr. Joel, go ahead. C'est Josie. Sorry. I guess maybe Josie shy.
I don't have any question, but it was a good program. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, guys. For me, I just want to say one thing before I leave Jeanette talking. So we really want to get the Ivorian Chamber of Commerce of Georgia, moving by bringing these kind of topics. This is the IT side, but there are other things as well for people that's doing products. They make products, they ship it, these kind of things. So we have these topics monthly, but for the IT side, we have to decide, how often we want to do this. We're not going to decide it right now, but I want you guys just to think about it and see, if we can do it monthly or bi-monthly or every quarter or whatever. But since you guys are here, I kind of want you guys to, think about that. And then in the IT WhatsApp group, all of you guys are going to be in there, and then we can continue the discussions. As for me, take care, guys. Jeanette, it's all you.
No problem. Thank you. Like you said, this is the Ivorian Chamber of Commerce in Georgia event, and we tried to do a monthly event. And Christelle put her email address in the chat. So if you like to email her to get more details on what she does as well, that would be great. And those events are recorded, and we have a YouTube page, we have a LinkedIn page, we have a Facebook page as well, and we also have a newsletter. So this information will be sent out to all our members and our social media page. Okay, so thank you again.
It was nice meeting you all. Great job on organizing this. I was gonna say, stop recording for a second.
Okay.